Hello, ladies, and welcome back to Behind TLC's Sister Wives show. After decades of silence, Janelle Brown just dropped a bombshell that changes everything we thought we knew about Kody Brown. What she revealed about favoritism, finances, and the children will leave you absolutely speechless. This isn't just drama, this is the moment the entire Brown family empire came crashing down. The Sister Wives fandom is in absolute chaos right now, and for good reason. Janelle Brown, the wife who always kept her composure, who always played it cool, who always took the high road, she just shattered that image with one devastating statement that's ripping through social media like wildfire. Toys for you, hand-me-downs for them. 7 words, and that's all it took. 7 words that exposed years of inequality, favoritism, and a family structure so broken that fans are calling it the most shocking moment in Sister Wives history. And let me tell you, in a show that has given us catfishing scandals, wife after wife leaving, and enough dysfunction to fill a psychology textbook, that says something. But here's what makes this different. This isn't about just one incident. This isn't just one argument or one bad day. What Janelle revealed pulls back the curtain on a pattern of behavior that apparently went on for decades. We're talking about a systematic difference in how Kody treated his children based on which mother they came from. And the internet? The internet is not holding back. Now, let's break down exactly what Janelle is claiming here, because the implications are absolutely devastating. According to insiders close to the family, and based on conversations that have been circulating, Janelle has been pulling the layers back on how the resources were divided in the Brown household. And what she's revealing is painting a picture that's making even the most loyal Sister Wives fans question everything. The accusation is about Robyn's children, how they were treated in comparison with children from Janelle, Christine, and Meri. While Robyn's kids were getting new toys, new clothes, and new everything, the children from the other mothers had to make do with hand-me-downs, second-hand items, and leftovers. At this point, a lot of people are saying, well, isn't that normal in big families? Don't younger kids always get hand-me-downs? And you'd be right to ask that question. But here's the critical detail that is making everyone's blood boil. This wasn't about birth order. This wasn't about age. This was allegedly about which mother you came from. Robyn's kids, regardless of their age compared to the other children, were supposedly getting first pick, new items, and preferential treatment, while Janelle's 6 children, Christine's 6 children, and Meri's 1 child were being told to share, reuse, and make sacrifices. The financial dysfunction exposed. But it gets even more complicated when you factor in the family's financial situation. For years, fans of Sister Wives have been trying to work out the Brown family's finances. We've seen them struggle with mortgages, their Coyote past property drama drag on years without development, and we've just flat out wondered how this family of 20-plus people was actually making ends meet. And now Janelle's revelation is making people ask, where was all the money actually going? Here's what we know from the show and from financial documents that have become public record. Kody and Robyn bought a nearly $1 million home in Flagstaff. That is not speculation. That is documented fact. Meanwhile, Janelle was living in an RV. Christine was living in a rental before she left for Utah. And Meri has been maintaining her financial independence through LuLaRoe and her bed and breakfast. The optics of this? Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Now, fans are scouring through previous episodes with magnifying glasses, searching for evidence of this favoritism. And it's everywhere. Scenes where Robyn's kids have elaborate birthday parties while others have more modest celebrations. Christmas episodes where the gift distribution seems notably uneven. Conversations about college funds and missions that suddenly make a lot more sense in this new context. The pattern of favoritism. So, let's talk about what favoritism in a plural family actually looks like, because it goes so far beyond toys and clothes. Multiple sources and fan observations have pointed out that Kody's time and attention were also distributed incredibly unevenly. During the pandemic, this became impossible to ignore. Kody essentially quarantined with Robyn and her children, implementing strict rules that made it nearly impossible for him to see his other wives and children. The excuse? COVID safety protocols. Apparently, Robyn's household had the strictest rules of all, and the others just weren't following the guidelines that Kody claimed he needed them to follow in order to feel safe. But fans weren't buying it. And with Janelle's accusation about material favoritism coming to light, that pandemic situation is looked at through a whole different lens. Was it really about safety? Or was it about Kody choosing the family he wanted to be with and using COVID as a convenient excuse? Janelle's own children have been vocal, most definitely on social media, about their complicated relationships with their father. Garrison and Gabriel, Janelle's sons, very publicly fell out with Kody during the pandemic period. They felt abandoned, like their father chose Robyn's family over them. And now we're learning that this feeling of being less than might have started much earlier than the pandemic. It might have been baked into their childhood. Christine's exit makes even more sense now. When Christine left Kody, she said something that stuck with everyone. He's not in love with me, and he's not attracted to me. That was heartbreaking enough on its own, but with Janelle's revelations, Christine's departure takes on a whole other meaning. Christine was the wife who ran the household, homeschooled the children, and cared for the whole family while the adults went to work. Yet, her children were said to be treated as lesser than Robyn's children. Now put yourself in Christine's shoes. Imagine raising 18 children basically by yourself, managing the household, doing all the emotional labor, and then watching your own biological children receive less than another wife's children while married to the same man. The resentment that must have grown up over the years is almost beyond belief. And Christine's daughter Gwendolyn has been very open on social media and in her own commentary about the family dynamics. She has confirmed that, yes, there was absolutely favoritism. Yes, Robyn's family was treated differently. And yes, it affected all of the children who weren't in Robyn's household. Robyn's role in this disaster. Now, about Robyn, she's literally the center of all of this, and Sister Wives fandom has some strong opinions about her. Robyn entered the family in 2010 as the fourth wife, and from almost that very moment, fans started to notice a difference in the way she was being treated. Kody seemed more romantic with her. He seemed more attentive. He fought harder to legally marry her, which meant divorcing Meri in the process so that he could adopt Robyn's children from her previous marriage. But Robyn has always insisted that she never wanted to be the favorite of the family. She said time and again that she encouraged Kody to spend time with his other wives, that she wanted a true plural family, and that she never intended to be the source of division. Yet here we are, 3 wives have left, the family is utterly fractured, and now we have allegations of material resources being divided unequally, favoring Robyn's children. So, what is the truth? Does Robyn manipulate and orchestrate this favoritism, or is she simply the beneficiary of Kody's own choices and preferences? The answer probably lies somewhere in between. What does seem clear is that Kody decided, consciously or unconsciously, that Robyn and her children were his priority. Whether Robyn actively encouraged that or simply didn't discourage it, the result was the same, a fractured family where some children felt loved and prioritized while others felt like afterthoughts. The effect on the children. Let's take a break for one moment and contemplate what this means to the Brown children, as they will be the real casualties in all of this. We're talking about kids who grew up thinking they came from one big family where everyone was equal. That was the whole concept of plural marriage as the Browns portrayed it. Every wife was equal, every child was equally loved, and everyone benefited from having multiple parental figures. But if Janelle's accusations are true, that was a lie. Some children were more equal than others. The psychological implications of this are not to be underestimated. Kids are very perceptive. They know when their brother or sister got better stuff, when dad spent more time with one house than the other, and when the rules seem different depending on which mom you live with. For the other Brown children, who had not been part of Robyn's household, those observations apparently mounted to a painful realization. They were not as significant to their father as their half-siblings. Several of Janelle and Christine's adult children have now cut ties with Kody altogether. They don't speak to him anymore. Some of them have come out and said he's not really part of their lives anymore. And tragic events in the family have only highlighted these rifts further. Meri's perspective in all this. It's not possible to talk about family dysfunction here without bringing up Meri, since her experience adds another layer yet to this disaster. Meri has been in relationship limbo with Kody for years. They've been spiritually married, but not romantic partners. They don't have a physical relationship. They barely seem to have a friendship. And yet Meri has stayed connected to the family, though she finally announced her departure recently. Meri's daughter Meri, who has come out as Leon, has also spoken about family dysfunction. It's also possible that the fact Meri only had one child, a partial product of infertility issues, played into the family dynamics in ways we're only now beginning to understand. If resources and attention were being divided up based on which children belonged to which mother, where did that leave Meri's one child? The evidence suggests Leon probably fell into the same category as Janelle and Christine's kids, less important than Robyn's. And Meri had to watch this happen while simultaneously dealing with the dissolution of her own romantic relationship with Kody. The layers of pain here are staggering. The Coyote Pass disaster. All of this family drama is playing out against the backdrop of the Coyote Pass property situation, which has become its own special kind of nightmare. The Brown family purchased this swath of land in Arizona with big dreams. They were going to build multiple homes, a family compound, and finally have the permanent Plural family setup they'd always wanted. But years later, nothing has been built. The property sits empty. Meanwhile, Kody and Robyn bought that nearly $1 million home, and the other wives are still in rental situations or, in Janelle's case, literally homeless and living in an RV. Fans have been furious over it for years. The symbolism is too apparent to be ignored. Kody and Robyn got their forever home, but everyone else got promises and empty land. And with wives now leaving the family, the Coyote Pass property is tied up in what promises to be a complicated financial separation. Who owns what? Who paid for what? How will the land be divided now that the family has completely fallen apart? Janelle's accusation about toys and hand-me-downs suddenly feels like a microcosm of the entire family's financial dysfunction. Social media explodes. The reaction to Janelle's revelation has been intense. The social media platforms are absolutely flooded with commentary, and people are not holding back. The overwhelming sentiment? Vindication for everyone who's been saying for years that something was wrong with how Kody treated his different families. Twitter is full of threads analyzing old episodes. On Reddit, several posts with hundreds of comments break down every interaction between Kody and his children. TikTok creators are making videos about the psychology of favoritism in families, using the show as an example. Fan accounts on Instagram post side-by-side comparisons of how different children were treated on the show. The hashtags are brutal. Hashtag Kody Brown exposed. Hashtag justice for Janelle. Hashtag Robyn's favoritism. Hashtag sister wives truth. Many fans are taking to social media to applaud Janelle for finally speaking her truth. For years, she has been viewed as the most diplomatic wife. She tried to keep the peace and make things work. It seems even Janelle has a breaking point, and we're watching that in real time. Other fans are going even further, calling for a full family reckoning. They want Christine to speak more. They want the adult children to share their experiences. They want Robyn to address these accusations directly. The demand for accountability is loud. What Kody has to say, or doesn't. So where is Kody in all this? How does he respond to Janelle's explosive accusation? Notably, Kody has been rather silent on social media in regard to this particular matter, and that in itself speaks volumes. This is a man who has never been afraid to defend himself on the show. He's gotten into arguments with his wives on camera. He's justified his decisions over and over again. He's gotten into heated fights about his parenting and relationship choices. But on this issue, this accusation of systemic favorable treatment for Robyn's children? Silence. That silence is speaking volumes to fans. If the accusation were completely false, wouldn't Kody be rushing to defend himself? Wouldn't he be bringing out receipts and evidence and explanations? The fact that he's not suggests one of two possibilities. Either he knows the accusation has truth to it and can't effectively defend himself, or he's decided that engaging with the controversy will only make things worse. Neither of them looks good for him. Some fans speculate that Kody might address this in future episodes of Sister Wives if the show continues. But given that 3 of his 4 wives have now left him, the future of the show itself is questionable. Wider implications for plural families. Beyond the drama in the Brown family itself, Janelle's revelation raises much larger questions about plural marriage itself and how resources are distributed through those complex family structures. The whole argument about plural marriage, presented through the Browns, is that it provides more support, more love, and more resources for all parties concerned. The basic hypothesis is that multiple adults working together can build a better life for everyone than traditional nuclear families could achieve. But the Brown family experience suggests the opposite might be true, at least when jealousy, favoritism, and unequal treatment enter the equation. How can you equitably distribute finite resources among several wives and their children? How would you make sure each one of them is valued and loved the same? How do you avoid having one relationship be the obvious favorite as other relationships wither away? These aren't easy questions, and the Browns have clearly failed to answer them successfully. Other plural families that have appeared on reality TV have faced similar challenges. It's apparently almost inevitable when one person, usually the husband, is the common denominator in several relationships. Those relationships become competitive rather than collaborative. The Browns have modeled a form of polygamy that many viewers found problematic from the start. Unlike other historical or religious polygamous structures in which wives can live together and share domestic responsibilities, the Browns chose to live in separate homes, which created separate family units that then competed for Kody's time, attention, and resources. Where do things go from here? So what happens now? Where does the Brown family go from this point? Christine has moved on. She's in Utah, she's found new love, and from all accounts, she's thriving. She's glowing in new photos. She seems genuinely happy for what feels like the first time in years. She's free of the drama, and of the inequality, and of the constant emotional labor trying to make a broken plural marriage work. Janelle has clearly moved on emotionally as well. She's running her own businesses, spending time with her children, and speaking her truth about what the family really was. She's done trying to make it work. Meri announced her departure and, to date, has appeared to be concentrating on her own independence and various business ventures. That leaves Kody and Robyn, the last couple standing in what was supposed to be a plural family for eternity. And herein lies the real irony. Kody had always claimed he needed plural marriage, that it made him a better person, that without it he could not achieve spiritual salvation, and that a monogamous arrangement made people selfish. But now, essentially, he's in a monogamous relationship with Robyn, and his other relationships have fallen apart. So what is that saying, really, about his commitment to plural marriage? What is that saying about whether this lifestyle was ever really working for anyone except him? Final thoughts. The truth comes out. After 2 decades of Sister Wives being on air, it seems the truth behind the elaborately projected image the Brown family attempted to portray is finally coming to light. This wasn't a family in which everyone was considered equal. This wasn't a family in which plural marriage created abundance and joy for all those involved. It was a family where some sacrificed and compromised, even gave up their needs, while others were protected, prioritized, and given the best of everything. As Janelle said, toys for you, hand-me-downs for them. This is so much more than a comment about material possessions. It's a metaphor for the entire family structure. Some people got the new, shiny, best version of Kody Brown. Others got the leftover scraps of his time, attention, and love. And the children, guiltless kids who never asked to be part of this family arrangement, were the ones that suffered due to their father's incapability to equally love and provide for them. The Sister Wives story has always been complex, but we are now finding out just how deep the dysfunction really went. Now that Janelle is speaking out, we get to know the unfiltered truth, which confirms what many fans suspected all along. It's not just entertainment anymore. This is a real-life family breakdown with real people who are suffering real trauma, and Janelle's bravery in saying what needed to be said is giving voice to every person who has ever felt less than, overlooked, or undervalued in their own family. The truth is out, and it is devastating. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more updates. Stay blessed, stay curious till next time.